Hi everyone, I hope 2024 is going to be a great year for you. Happy New Year. I was a good boy all year during 2023. All year. Scouts promise. I was never a scout. Anyway, I was a good boy and Santa Claus brought me something really special for Christmas and I can't wait to share it with you. It's a Coleman 502 with a cook kit. Some people say it's the best stove ever made. We're going to see, because we're going to try it out in the field in this video. Stick around. Alright, the Coleman 502 single burner stove with the original Coleman cook kit. I am missing the strap, but you know what? I can probably find something to replace that pretty easily, and I intend to. Alright, let's open this baby up, see what's going on. Here's the lid. Now, when I store my single burner stoves inside of something like this, I always use protection. You see, the fuel for this is stored in the stove. And the Coleman has a little pump, and that pump occasionally needs to be oiled. So I don't want that fuel or that oil getting into my cook kit. And it definitely already has. You know what? Even though I used protection, this Coleman 502 still leaked fuel. Maybe you can see it in there. Into my cook kit. Now, obviously, I don't want to cook fuel. I don't want to eat that, because that's Coleman white gas. So this one might have a problem. And you know what I think the problem is? I don't think you can see it there, but if you look on the bottom of these, you can see the date of manufacture. And this Coleman 502 was manufactured in June of '66. So that means it's stamped with a 666 on the bottom of this one. That's right. Yeah, this thing is it's the 666 single burner stove. So anyway, let's take a look at the cook kit. So here's the lid of the cook kit. It's got this little loopy thing on here. That's because it comes with a handle and it turns into a skillet. Look at that. The big part of the cook kit, the pot, also has a loopy thing on there. Look at that. It turns into a pot. So the problem is this filler cap is leaking fuel. When we go to pump it up, fuel spills out of here. These older Colemans had this screw top cap, which I don't know why they did that. And there's a gasket in there. And that gasket can get rotted. It can crack. It can disintegrate. It's harder than heck to get that thing out of there. You pretty much got to burn it out with a little torch and scrape out the remains of what you burned up. But I just happen to have on hand, straight from Coleman.com, part 425A1405. It's a filler cap complete. I've got a brand new filler cap. Don't ask me why. I've got a sickness. All right, the new cap doesn't have that screw in there, does it? This is straight from Coleman. The gasket looks a lot better. It's a lot wider. Less moving parts, less things to go wrong. More simple. Okay, so let's screw this new cap on there. As much as I hate to do it, as much as I hate to mix and match parts, I like to keep everything original, but sometimes what works just works. Okay? All right, new cap's on there. Let's see what happens when we go to pump it up. No fuel spewing out. All right? This thing was spewing fuel every time I pumped it up. fuel was just spewing out of there. When I transported it, fuel was leaking from there. But with the new cap, all that's been avoided. And I kind of like the goldish color. Kind of pops. Right now I've got a lot of fuel that leaked out onto my canvas cloth here. I'm not going to fire this up with a bunch of fuel leaked out. Be patient. I'll get this cleaned up. Be right back with you. All right. Laugh it up all you want. This plaid is not as cool as the olive drab canvas, but here we are. We're back. We've got the new fuel cap on. We've got her pumped up 30 to 35 times, and then turn to the clockwise there. We've got the needle knob pointed away from the stove. Now, the shutoff valve. This is different than other Coleman stoves. The 502 had this. Most other ones don't. So, when we go to light it up, we're going to turn it a quarter of a turn. You hear that? I hear that. Oh, isn't she beautiful? So we've got this turned a quarter of a turn to light it. We've got this pointed away to light it. We're getting some yellow flame. There's a little blue flame down there. A little snap, crackle, pop. There's probably some fuel that spilled in there. One thing you'll notice about this stove, it goes to a blue flame really quick because the generator runs right along the burner. A lot of these other Coleman stoves, the generator's up a little higher. It kind of goes up and over. We're already at a beautiful blue flame. So after about a minute, we're going to open this valve all the way up. Once this thing's primed and running good, just open it up, wide open. Okay, so here we are about a minute later. Look at that beautiful blue flame. Running like a champ. We're going to take our little knob and we're going to open that bad boy wide open. Yep, open her all the way up. At this point, I usually like to give the stove a few more pumps because it's taken a lot of the pressure to get it to this point. So we're going to turn our pressure pump counterclockwise. Give it a few more little pumps here to jazz it back up. And then turn it clockwise to kind of tighten this back in. Now we're cooking. If we're cooking too much, we can adjust the flame now with this knob. For a size comparison, here's a little rocket stove attached to an isobutane 8-ounce container. That's how they stack up. Not much of a size difference. You give up a little bit of weight, you give up a little bit of space in your pack to have this as opposed to this. But you know what? This is way cooler. Way cooler. Now we got them both. The isobutane stove is definitely kicking out more BTUs. There's a lot more heat coming off this than there is off this. I mean, I can barely hold my hand a foot and a half over the isobutane stove. I can hold my hand 6 to 8 inches off the Coleman stove. There's a lot more BTUs out of this. All right, sweets, we need some eggs. Yeah.
other day, stopped calling it a 12-pack of eggs. It's a dozen.
It's a dozen.
And then I got called an alcoholic. But yeah. Yeah, my egg apron.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll go put these in the car.
All right, so how'd it turn out? Let's see. It's only missing one thing. Tabasco sauce. A little bit of that. There we go. Much better. Hey, if you like this video, subscribe, click the like button, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. And hey, we'll see you on down the road. Have a good one.
But it was legit like shit. So be careful when you pick it up.